This live stream is about how to move forward in your life when you've got anxiety. Anxiety can also be social anxiety. All my clients that I've coached, pretty much all of them have had social anxiety and life anxiety. And I've also struggled with that as well. But what I've done is over the years, for the last 11 years, I've just kept facing it. And as a result, I've been able to achieve a lot of success, make a hell of a lot of progress, create a lot more freedom in my life, and create a business where I work for myself. I get paid to do what I love, and I attract clients from all around the world. So you could do the same. So give me a few minutes to get into the stream. I've made a decision that I'm going to start doing long live streams because it takes time to explain things that I need to explain and to teach and ask questions and interact. And I personally enjoy speaking for longer periods of time. I get better as I speak longer. Funny enough, that's what pretty much most of my followers struggle with. They struggle to speak without running out of things to say because they get nervous, they get awkward. So it's good for me to demonstrate and show people that were just like me, nervous, anxious, self-doubt, afraid to, take risks, take action, how to speak, in a confident, natural way and be yourself, and many more things. And I'm going to answer questions in this live stream like I always do. It's good to see you guys on. There's a lot of things I want to cover today. I'm gonna get your questions as well. Yeah, it always takes me a few minutes just to get warmed up on these streams, and I'll tell you why I struggle for a few minutes, because I prefer teaching in person. I just prefer it, right? I'm still not a massive fan of this technological world that we live in. You just can't beat meeting in person, but obviously I appreciate the opportunity to do these live streams and reach more people, because I can't be in 30 countries at once, but I can on a live stream, but not in person. I'm also going to tell you guys that I got an event coming up next week. It's free. It's a free event for guys that have social anxiety, that want to get over it in all areas of life. We're mainly going to focus on dating, but I will explain that things I'm going to teach you in dating, you can apply the same principles and practical steps in any area of life. So what I mean by that is, once you know how to control your anxiety, you can be good in business, you can be good in dating, you can be good in so many different areas of life. So I'm going to explain that. Hold on a second. Well, read your question. Well, you really need to answer that question for yourself. You're asking me the question, but I don't have that problem at the moment, right? You've got that problem, and you were saying that on the last stream. So you've really got to make that decision. It depends on the situation. I think it's really about you getting more secure of yourself. And again, you got to take the advice that, well, if you want to make progress, I gave you advice on the last live stream. And I told you to go and join the boxing gym or take up martial arts, because that's going to help you to get over this problem that you got with bullying. Or I don't know if you're getting bullied right now. I hope that's not the case, or you're dealing with past bullying that's upset you or traumatized you, and you've got bad memories. So you've got to get over that by building your confidence in the right way. And also as well, you don't want to run the risk of being a bully yourself, because that's not going to make you feel good in the long run. So you've got to be careful when you're dealing with a situation, because yes, I understand what it's like to get bullied, and I've been bullied. It's not nice, and it's not right, and you've got to learn to stand up for yourself. But you don't want to become a bully, and you don't want to be in a mindset where you're angry all the time, because then you're going to get into fights with people. You're going to attract that, so you don't want that. So going boxing will give you the type of confidence where you won't need to get into fights and you won't have to constantly think about, oh, what if someone bullies me? I'm going to have to stand up for myself. You won't be in that insecure, paranoid mindset. But I understand what you're going through. I understand how you're feeling, being that I felt like that at one stage in my life. So it's really about building confidence in the right way and having a good outlook. Okay. You're getting bullied now. That's not nice. Well, what's the situation? How are you getting bullied? First of all, how old are you? Is this at school or what? If you're getting bullied now, I'd report it. Personally, I would report it. I don't know how bad the bullying is, but I'd report it to the authorities, the police, or if you're at school teachers will tell your family. And also, if you can, as I said, take up martial arts, learn how to learn self-defense, which is within the law. So learn the law, learn self-defense, or tell someone you're getting bullied, get help so we can stop the bullying. I didn't know you were getting bullied right now. It's not nice. I thought you was talking to me about that you had trauma from the past and that's been affecting you. That's what I thought you meant. That's not nice. Just trying to, just a sec, guys. Again, I'm just using the laptop so I can, there we go. I'm going to use the phone because it's better quality, and I'm going to use the laptop to answer questions because the questions are easier to read on my laptop. And I'm gonna share this stream. As I said, just give me a couple of minutes, guys. It just takes me a few minutes just to warm up and get my thoughts together. I've been to the gym today. I just haven't stopped. I'm still a little bit tired from the traveling. Body's got to kind of recover. But after a couple of minutes, I'll be great. I'll get into a state and a flow. And actually, that's a good lesson for a lot of people. I mean, everybody has this. There's times where you don't feel like speaking, you're tired, but you've really got to learn to push beyond that. And it's funny a lot of times when you're tired and you say to yourself, well, I don't feel like speaking, I don't feel like being around people. A lot of the times you can break out of that. In fact, most of the time you can, and that's a skill that I developed over the years, just through trial and error. And when I started teaching that, we're all human. There's times like today where I don't always feel like speaking as well. But once I push past that and I start teaching, or you start talking to someone that you like, that you're, an interesting conversation, and then you start getting in the mood, and then you get into state, and then you do feel like speaking, and that's a wonderful feeling. It's a little bit like if you feel depressed or you feel down and you feel sad, and then you say, oh, I don't feel like going to the gym today. I can't go out and speak to women or date, or I can't go to work because I feel down, I feel depressed. But if you push yourself and you do it, after 10 or 15 minutes, you can change your state, and then you say, I feel really good now. So it's always about taking action to get out of one state into another, usually to get from a negative state, or it doesn't always mean negative and depressed because you don't feel like speaking. Sometimes I don't feel like speaking, and we don't feel like speaking because we're kind of just relaxed, happy on our own thoughts, or we've been doing things throughout the day, working, teaching, going to the gym, cleaning the apartment, whatever it may be. So this would be the first lesson. So in terms of moving forward in life with anxiety, this is one of the skills that you have to learn. You have to learn how to speak when you don't always feel like it. One of the things, AD, that's helped me to sleep, that's really helped me, I go to the gym and I train hard, and the gym makes me knackered. I go to the gym, obviously I might have a different lifestyle to you, right? I socialize and I work on my business and I have clients. So most of it's the gym. The gym will tire me out. I'm tired today. It's a good tired. I went to gym this morning. I got up early. I stayed at my parents'. I spent some time with my dad. Really enjoyed it. Got up about 9 in the morning. Left my parents. Came home. Got my kit. Went gym. Had a good workout today. Showered. Came back. Cleaned the apartment. So I'm quite tired. I know I'm going to sleep well tonight. So I think you've got to work out more. You've got to train more. But listen, we all go through it. I don't know anybody who doesn't have problems of sleeping now and then. And we are living in quite a stressful time. So all you can do is the best you can. And I think sometimes you just got to accept that I can't sleep tonight, because the more you beat yourself up, then you feel worse. So I would say rigorous exercise, intense training, 100% improves sleeping pattern. And I would also say socializing does. If I'm socializing regularly and I'm training regularly and I'm teaching regularly, I sleep better. But if I'm not taking action and I'm not facing anxieties and fears and responsibilities, then I'm going to be up all night. I can't sleep because I feel bad. I'm worrying. I'm not facing things. I'm not moving forward in my life. But yeah, your questions are great. They're all relevant today, and that's what moving forward's about. Whether it's bullying, whether it's a bad sleeping pattern, I've realized at some point, everybody wants to learn how to be stronger in life, how to move forward, because that's how moving forward is really the solution to most problems. That's how you find happiness and keep going. And it's a skill that you can't really get out of it. I mean, if you don't learn it, then I guess you're going to move forward at a slower pace in life, or maybe be living a life that you don't want. And most of us on this channel, you don't want that, right? So you're here to learn something. Yeah, I think you're going to have to get some help with this, Khalid. I think at the moment, the problem that you're having, I think my help is beyond. I can only help you like I'm doing. I think you're going to have to speak to someone about this, someone in real life, because there's not much that I can do for you right now on a live stream. I wish I could, and maybe I can, maybe I'm wrong, but I've spoken to you yesterday, Sunday, and it seems to be difficult to get through to you, and I understand, and I'm not with you in person, right? So I'm not having a go at you, but I can't really communicate with you like this because you're not really taking in what I'm saying. Maybe you can't do it. I understand that. So listen, you've got to speak to your parents or someone in your life, and you've got to report this bullying, because you shouldn't really be getting bullied. And getting bullied from your cousin shouldn't really be bullying you. That's not nice. You're afraid of telling him, okay, take your mobile. Yeah, man, your cousin shouldn't be bullying you. So you're gonna have to speak to one of your family members. There's nothing. I can't do anything about that, unfortunately. All I can do is just give you encouragement, and maybe somebody else on the stream can give you some advice. But this is a tricky one, being that I'm not with you in person. So yeah, speak to your parents, and listen, man. If it's that bad, then you got to speak to the police about this, or authorities. Right. Okay. So another thing, right? In regards to how do you move forward in life when you suffer with anxiety or social anxiety, is pretty much the same thing. If you have one, you're going to have the other. You've really got to have a long-term goal, because if you don't have a long-term goal, then you're not going to have any motivation. When you wake up in the morning, it's like, oh, I'm anxious, I'm stressed, and I don't really have a motivation to face this. But having a long-term goal, it gives you that extra strength. It makes you face it. So everyone's long-term goals will be different. Maybe you guys can help me and tell me what your goals are. Even something like wanting to get a girlfriend, wanting to fall in love and get a relationship, that can be a great motivation. Certainly was for me starting out about over 10 years ago. Or making money, starting a business, or being a better person, or just if you have a goal that you want to be more confident, you need a motivation, you need a reason. And if you guys can tell me what your goal is, what your reason is, that's going to help you to move forward. So that's another way that you move forward. Yeah, I think journaling's good. I haven't got a problem with that. I do some of that, but I would say this though. I would say this. I don't. Again, if you just journal but you don't take action, and in my opinion, in this area, I just think it's a waste of time. Because again, journaling, I do some of it, but I take a lot of action. So if you're writing to get things out as a therapy, brilliant, and it helps you, that's great if it really helps you. But it's not going to be enough, because journaling without action is just like reading books without action. So journaling's great, I think that's great, but you have to take action with it as well. You have to go out and socialize. You have to go to events. I'm really good, Said. How are you? So, you know, like I say, I've said before, it, it's almost like I'm. It's trying to get through to people in that it's simple what I'm telling you to do, but it's not easy to do it consistently. And what I'm asking you to do is to keep taking action, and that's just another word for moving forward. But you will, man, it's life changing, but it's not easy. It's not easy for anyone. It's not easy for me because I said it the other day, you know, facing anxiety takes a lot of strength. Sometimes it's not that hard, depending on the situation. It's not that bad. Sometimes it's really bad. It's really scary. It's very uncomfortable. You're scared. You feel awkward. It's stressful. Again, you're asking the same question. I can't answer that question for you at the moment. Can't answer that question. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't have the answer for you. I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you do this, do that, because it's a tricky situation. How to get respect? Well, I think to get respect, you've got to give respect. People sometimes don't realize that. So if you want to be respected by people, you have to be a respectful person. If you don't respect people and you've got a bad attitude, people won't like you. So that's one of the obvious ways. But generally, I think the way that you get respect from people is by being a brave person. I've said it in my streams. So great question. It ties in with the today's stream, which is how to move forward when you've got an anxiety disorder. Social anxiety, life, fear, all same thing pretty much. So people respect people that are brave, that are accountable, that are trying. Everybody does. We all do. Think in your own mind. Just ask yourself, what do you respect in a person? What do you admire? What qualities do you admire? How do you build your mental strength and get rid of negativity when you're surrounded by it? Really good question. Well, again, good question. I'm going to go back into my story and see how I dealt with that. You need a passion. You need a goal. You need a purpose in life, and you need to be sick and tired. You need to get to a point where you're so sick and tired of negative people and a negative environment and in yourself. And you've got to be brave and say, what's the negativity of myself? And then you've got to work on changing it. So basically, you've got to come out of a predicament that is negative and maybe a circle of people that are negative. You've got to take responsibility. And again, all these things that I'm asking you to do, that you have to do, if you don't have purpose in life, you ain't going to do it. The likelihood is you won't do it. So, you know, what's your goal in life? What is it that you want to achieve? Like, ask yourself the question, okay? I'm not happy in my life. It's negative. The people around me are negative. So what is it you want then? What do you want in your life? What would make you happy? What would make you excited? What would make you want to face your fears? You've got to be able to answer these questions. And if you can't answer these questions right now, then we'll have to wait. Obviously, be more patient. I don't really count the protein. I stopped counting it. Before I was having around about 180 to 200 grams protein a day. Now I've just kind of I don't really count it, to be honest. I've kind of stepped back from being that sort of monitoring. I just eat as clean as I can, and I just exercise regularly, and have quite a lot of protein. So I don't really count. How to be disciplined. Again, goals. You need a goal. People lack discipline again because they don't have a goal and a purpose. I know it sounds like I'm saying the same answer of every question, but that's because it is the same answer. The way you become disciplined is by taking lots of action. But lots of people won't take action because they're afraid to take action in case they get judged or they fail or they get hurt emotionally, and in case they get awkward. So therefore, you need a strong purpose in life that you're so passionate about, it makes you forget about what do people think about me. What will happen if I fail? You're not in that mindset, and you develop this over time through practice. So discipline is built through habit building, but in order to build a habit, in order to build that characteristic, you need a reason to want to do it. What's your reason? Tell me, guys. None of you tell me in the box below. You know, all of you ask me great questions, but you're not telling me what your goals are. You know, you're not saying to me, you're not telling me what your purpose is. And I'm only trying to help you guys. You want to be uncommon. How much water? I don't really add up the water, to be honest. I just, again, it's not something that I don't count and go, well, I just drink water quite regularly. A second. You know what I noticed? It's interesting, guys. I said this before. Again, I'm not having a go at any of you, right? Just being honest. Every time I ask this question, everyone goes silent. There's only usually one person. There'll be about 2 people on the stream that will tell me what their goals are. Do you know why that is, guys? That's what holding you back. That's fear. That's what fear does. That's what anxiety does. That's what the shadow does. It just silences you because you're so afraid. Listen, face the fear. Think about what your goals are in life. Don't be embarrassed. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. I'm not going to judge you. I'm very easygoing. I wouldn't. I'm trying to help you. I've had all these issues. What's your goal? Okay, that's good. Your goal is to become brave. That's a really good goal. That's a great goal. Any more? Anyone else? I recommend you guys read a book, right? I actually do recommend a book. It's by Viktor Frankl, one of the best psychologists, I think, of all time. And he wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning. And it explains that when a person's going through suffering in life, whether it's depression, anxiety, grief, loss, you know, they're spiritually lost in their life. If they've got a purpose in their life, if they find a purpose and they have meaning, it can help them to get out of a very difficult predicament. That book's 100% right. The teaching is beautiful because that's how I did it when I was struggling many years ago, and I had all the fears that you guys have, and I was asking all the questions that you're asking. I found the purpose in my life, and you know, my purpose was broken down into about 3 specific goals. And I've said this so many times on the videos sharing my story. The goal was to get a girlfriend, make some money, and to be successful at something and help people. How do you deal with ADHD? I don't have ADHD, not that I'm aware of. How do you deal with ADHD when you're on your phone? Everything's trying to distract you. Well, that's a good question. I mean, that's a very good question. Again, it's about focus. It's about having a goal. It's the same answer again. If you've got a goal in life, where you find something that you're passionate about, a hobby, something that you love doing, you do that. You focus on doing that as much as you can, and then you're not going to be distracted by outside occurrences. So at the moment, I can hear from talking to you guys that you don't have goals, or you don't have a specific goal or purpose, and you're distracted by negativity, by the everyday mundane things in life, technology. So I would say, this is what I do in my business. I do this every day. This will help you guys. I spend at least 1 to 3 hours a day working on my dreams. And that includes an hour at the gym. That includes, working on my business. And that's outside of the coaching time that I, spend with my clients when I'm coaching my clients. So I spend, and it may not sound like a lot, or it may sound a lot. Some days I spend more hours, but roughly. So you need to spend at least 2 hours a day, working on your craft or your dream, whatever it is. Because if you don't, you're going to get depressed, and you're going to get so distracted in life. There's always distractions, isn't there? So you ain't got to be perfect. And I'm not asking you guys to work 10 hours a day or 20 hours a day. I'm just asking you to spend 2 hours a day on your dream. And if you do that every day, then anything's possible. You'll be in a much better place in the next 3 to 6 months. If you're enjoying this stream and you're getting a lot out of it, hit that like button, share, and subscribe to my channel. Because a lot of people forget to subscribe, and then you're not going to get regular videos and you're not going to learn more. I'm gonna listen, Gally. You're not listening. I'm gonna say the last thing, and I'm not gonna speak about this subject because I've said it to you many times. You need to calm down and listen. You're obsessive with this topic. Look, in regards to your question, speak to someone and get help if you're getting bullied right now. I'm telling you that advice. Or go to the gym, tell them you're getting bullied. They're nice people. Or go to a martial arts club. Speak to someone and get some help and learn self-defense, because obviously you're going through a bad time, you're upset, I understand that. Or get professional help, speak to someone, because I've given you the advice. This is the 7th time now. I haven't got the energy to say it again, and I understand, please believe me, but I'm not with you in person. So try and forget about it for a bit, because you're going to drive yourself mad. You're going to get down, you're going to get depressed. Forget about the bullying at the moment, right? You're not being bullied right now, hopefully, please God. And if it is going on and you are getting bullied, then you're gonna have to report it. You can't let someone do that. So if you're not able to stand up to them, you're not a coward. Yeah, Germany was great. I really enjoyed it. I went twice, I'll be honest. People were lovely. I enjoyed the first time more, probably because it was the first time. So I loved it. I liked it a lot. Right, let me ask you a question, John. Sorry, guys, just give a sec. Right, I'm gonna get this. Apologies that I'm looking away. I'll tell you why I'm doing that, because I'm looking at my laptop to answer questions, because the quality is really good on this phone. But the questions come up so quick, I don't get a chance to read them and answer them, so I've got to use the laptop. So that's why I'm trying to get it straight, so it's a bit more of a nice experience for you guys, so I'm not constantly looking away. Okay, I'm now 5 years later, and my anxiety's gone back to what it used to be, because I thought I was fixed. I stopped putting myself out there. Yeah, that's what happens, John. You know what, John? It does happen. It happened to me, and I had to overcome it again. So what I'd say is, John, I know you got to get back out there. You got to start facing your fears again. How to get back to presence and confidence again while still having a girlfriend, a lot of other aspects of life sorted. Well, you got to work at it. Even if you've got a girlfriend, you still got to go on living. Whether you've got a girlfriend or a spouse or a wife, people that have anxiety, like yourself, we've still got to keep moving forward. You've got to keep taking action in other areas of life and being social, so you can get that confidence back and momentum. And that's a rule of thumb for anyone, myself included. So I've said this before. I think sometimes people think that, when someone's successful and they've overcome anxiety, oh, they're just perfect now and they're never going to get it. No, if you don't keep working on it, if I don't work on my anxiety every single day, then it comes back. I start to lose confidence. It's not going to happen in a day or a week, but if I didn't socialize like in the COVID time for 6 months or 3 months, it's going to start coming back again. So this is something that you've got to work at all pretty much for life. But if you take that mindset in a positive way, you'll be excited. You'll enjoy that. You'll accept that. It wouldn't be a problem. You'll be like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's something that I remind a lot of my clients. I said that to Philip, who's doing my 1-year program, and I reminded him that he's got into such a good place because he works so hard. He's been working with me for several months now, and he's signed up to my 1-year program. But I said to him, The danger of getting into a good place is you can get complacent. And I obviously I reminded him so he didn't make that mistake. I made that mistake, and I remind my clients so they don't have to make the mistakes that I've made and many people do, where they spend like 6 months or 6 weeks doing my coaching. They get into a very good place, they get very confident with people, and they think, I've done it now. Oh, I don't have anxiety anymore. I'm social. I've got a girlfriend, or I can, change my job, or I'm just more relaxed around family and friends. And then they stop continuing to be hungry and continue to challenge themselves, and then they're surprised when it's a few months later, and then they're feeling really nervous again, and they're having self-doubt, and they're feeling depressed and isolated, because you've got to keep working at this. And when you get to a certain level, if you don't maintain it, most of that is mindset, habits, positive habits, and regular socializing and taking action, then you're going to slip back down. And that's really what I'm trying to say is, you've got to maintain your mental health. You've got to maintain, you've got to keep the anxiety down as best as you can. And you do that by taking massive action. And that's the mindset. And that's a big part of understanding how this process works with regards to moving forward in life, because that's what it's about. It's not like, I'm successful. I'm glad that you like the content, John. Thanks. John, are you a subscriber? I'm just asking, if you're getting a lot of value, guys, and you enjoy my stuff, please subscribe to the channel so we can keep growing the channel, and you can continue to learn more to get you to the point where you want to be, or maintain where you're at. Yeah, what's a matter of choice? I personally prefer meeting women in real life and approaching them rather than online dating. But again, that's different for each individual. So it's not a fact. I can't say, well, it's a fact that, meeting women in real life is better than online dating. It depends on you. Everyone's different. Everyone's values are different. For me personally, I don't do online dating. I don't like it. I don't need to do it, because thank God, I've had a lot of success with meeting women in real life, in Starbucks or a park or a party, just in real life, in real situations. But some people have met, their girlfriends or partners with online dating. So it comes down to personal choice. And obviously, I'm going to have my opinion, but it doesn't mean it's a fact. So it's really you've got to answer your own questions. That's another thing that people have got to learn to do. All right, I'm going to read your question. Hold on a second. Why is a girl one day warm with you, and then another day she doesn't care about you? What does a guy do if it happens? Well, I think you've got to communicate. Are you talking about in a relationship or just in general? And this is a broad question, and you haven't really given me much to go, but can be many factors. But I would say it's about communication, and that's just human nature. It's life. Everybody can be nice one day, and if you upset them. So generally, the reason why men have this problem with women and they don't know what to do is because they don't have the courage to communicate and just say, look, is there something wrong? Can we talk about it? And that's part of being a strong man and having respect for women and yourself. And a lot of men are scared to do that. I used to be like that until I changed it. Okay, she's a potential girlfriend. So, it's about asking in a positive way. You don't want to ask in a needy way, in a weak way, but you can say, look, do we need to talk? Is there something wrong? It seems that something isn't right. And when you say it in a way like that, it's respectful. Most of the times women will tell you. She might be having a bad day. She might be angry at you. You might have done something that triggered her. It could be nothing to do with you. So, have the courage to ask. Yeah, ask. Because, we can't always read people's minds or a woman's mind. And, it's the same in reverse. So this is something that I've learned recently that's improved in my relationships is I've got more courage to ask and speak, in a mature way and say, can we work this out? Is there a problem? It seems like there's a problem. Yeah, I'm more openly talking, 100%. So it's a big fear for a lot of men. A lot of men find it very difficult emotionally and mentally to speak more honestly with women, especially in situations that might be uncomfortable or might feel confrontational. I would say a lot of this stuff goes back to our relationships with our mother, believe it or not. Where we were scared as a child to be shouted at by a mum or upset our mum. These patterns can really carry out in our relationships. I've observed this in myself as well. So I'm not going to get too deep into that unless you guys want me to. That's not really it's some of my teaching, but I'm not really a therapist and a relationship psychologist. It's more about confidence, honesty, and moving forward. So yeah, it's really about learning to communicate and ask questions and be able to get to, you want to try and resolve it and get to a good place. But sometimes as guys, we get paranoid, we get insecure, and women get the same, where if a woman is nice and loving to us one day and she's not exactly the same the next day, it can trigger our insecurities. We start thinking, oh, what's wrong? Doesn't she like me anymore? Doesn't she love me? Why is she not acting the same way that she was yesterday? Sometimes that can be just down to her being tired. Sometimes it could be down to her going through her own stuff. Sometimes it can be down to something that we did. So that's why you communicate and face that fear, and you feel better after. You feel better when you get to you're honest. You have the courage to say, what's going on, or say it. Say, yesterday you were great, you were lovely. Today you seem different with me. You seem cold. Have I done something to upset you? Are you stressed out? Can we talk about it? Say it in a confidence, and you're respectful and you're caring. And a lot of times women respect that. Even if they're upset, then they'll tell you. Then they might say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm having a bad day." You might be able to work things out. Most of the times you can work it out, but it is a skill to be able to communicate in a way that's not too aggressive and insecure, but confident, calm, and all the rest of it. I'm waiting for your questions, guys. I'm just doing a bit. Sorry. Yeah, learning to communicate more honestly and openly will help you to get more confidence in life. Every area improves, and it helps you to move forward. A lot of people get stuck in life and in predicaments that are negative because they don't communicate. They're scared to communicate with their partner, or in business, or in a job, or family, friends, or even on a live stream or a YouTube video, or just from day to day. So communication is very important for all aspects of life, especially happiness. Yeah, well, it's good. I mean, you, you don't want to get rejected, but at the same time, you got to accept that rejection is a part of life. So it is good to not care about it too much, but you still need to care. There's a balance of, sometimes when guys say, I don't care about rejection, it's not coming from a good place. I've done it as well. It's like anger, it's like hurt. It's like, well, the truth is you do care about rejection. None of us like being rejected and hurt. But how can we develop a mindset that is more mature and more accepting and positive? So it's like, I'm not gonna allow my fear of rejection to stop me living my dreams and trying and asking a woman out. but at the same time, I'm still going to care, because if you don't care about people and women, you're not going to attract them. It's not going to be easy, believe me. So it's not like, well, we just hear these terms get floated around in different teachers and online, and sometimes we take them in a negative way. So it's like, it's good to be fearless, but you still have to have empathy in life. You want to be a good person. So yes, you can say relative in a certain context, I don't care about rejection in a positive way. So be careful of that. Be careful that that's not anger speaking, because and resentment, because you're not going to get nowhere like that with that sort of place. You need to be in a better place. So yes, in some degree, that's a good attitude to have, to not care about rejection, but you can take that too far into your interactions with women and project like anger and all that kind of stuff, and that's not going to get you nowhere. It's not going to get a relationship like that, in my experience. So you really want to say, well, I'm going to learn from the failures. I'm not going to take them personal. Sometimes you are going to take it a bit personal. Does that make sense? Hopefully you get that. Because a lot of guys say that, and and it's like, they're saying something, but they don't really mean it. They're saying, oh, I talk to women, I get rejected, and I don't care. But underneath that is hurt, pain, anger, and they do care. So I'm trying to get you to be even more honest. And I worked at that myself, and I found you get better results like that. Um, I think you should be loyal. I think you should be loyal. I think you should be loyal to them. I think you should be respectful. I think being loyal is going to make you a better man in the long run. But listen, you got to make your own choices. I can't I can't live for you, but I can hope to pass on um, the sort of values and the ethics that I strive to live by best I can and teach. How old are you, by the way? Do you mind me asking your age? Because I'm just curious how old you are. Is everybody on the stream today? Is everybody seeking advice with women and dating? You're 25, okay. Or is it just anxiety in general? Let me know in the box below. I coach in all those areas, but it'll be good to know. By the way, guys, I got an event next week. There is now 13 people coming, which is great. It's building up, and that's next Sunday. It's a free event if you want to come along. It's for guys that want to move forward in life with their anxiety, especially with women. And we're going to meet in London. It's an in-person event, so it's basically the live stream now, but in real life. So you can ask me questions in person, meet like-minded people. We're going to have a great time. This is probably the best opportunity you've got next week to make progress on your anxiety. You can't get better than coming to social events. It gives you so much confidence. I know a lot of you are going to be scared. I understand that. There's no shame in that. Being afraid is normal, but what are you going to do about it? Are you going to let it hold you back, or are you going to move forward in your life? So if you want to move forward in your life, then you should come to the event next week if you want to come. And if you guys want some information about how you can sign up, let me know, and I will. I'll give you the details. I think I said it in the stream yesterday. It's all about taking baby steps because it does take time. It does take time to build the courage and to build the confidence and to, you know, put yourself out there and just face all your fears. It's something that you do gradually, but the quicker you get started, the more progress you're going to make. Actually, let me give you guys the yeah, let me give you guys the link to my new meetup group so you can actually join. It's a great platform, meetup. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. My group's really growing on this. I've got 35 members, which I'm really pleased about. And that's just been from when I joined this a couple of weeks now. It's going to get really big. Right. Let me give you guys the link. I'm just waiting for your questions, guys. I think I need a coffee, you know that. I'm a bit tired from the gym earlier. Okay, so I'm going to give you the link to the event. If you want to come to the event next Sunday, guys, here's the link. It's on Meetup. There's the link. You should be able to click that and join. And that link will take you, if you're not on Meetup already. Or if you can't join from Meetup, then send me an email and I'll give you the actual address. Here's my email address. And then you can come along. It's next Sunday in London. We're meeting at Covent Garden Station. It's going to be for about 2 hours. We're going to have a great time. There's my email address. As I said before, it's a lot better meeting in person than it is online. This is the generational problem today. People are quite scared to meet in person. I understand. Everybody's got addicted to machines. Everybody's got almost institutionalized, to get the word out. Everybody is isolated on the machines, so they're stuck in a pattern. And I'm trying to get you out of the pattern and get you to come to the event, because that's really what you need to do. That's great. I appreciate you watching my content again after a couple of years. That's great, man. I'm glad that it's helping. Well, like I said earlier, you know, that's the thing with anxiety and fear. A lot of people make a lot of progress, which is great. And then, you know, a couple of years later, things happen. They have a challenge or, you know, a breakup sometimes, and then they need to come back to the channel and get more help. I've been getting a lot of clients that have been taking my coaching that I worked with 5-6 years ago. I'm really pleased about that, because, you know, they need help again, and that's great, because we all need help at times. Just because you're you know, you can be in shape today, but maybe in 2 years time you're going to get out of shape, you're going to need help again. That's why it's so important to have a mentor, a teacher, and invest in coaching programs so you can continuously move forward and make progress. You need a goal, you need a reason, you need a good goal. What's your goal? Is it to get a girlfriend? Is it a relationship? Is it to be a better person? So you need to define what your goal is. If you don't define what your goal is, then you're not going to have much motivation. So motivation is cultivated by having the right goals. You need the right goal. You know, you need to change your mindset. So obviously, you know, being with friends can make it easier because they give you support and you've got them to lean on and you can build off their energy. So you've got to learn to cultivate that yourself, and that takes practice. It's not always easy. You know, that's why you value these skills. But what's not easy, if practiced on a regular basis, can become easy. I think you should be honest with her, man. I always encourage my clients to be honest with women. I'm not into lying and game. I'm not into all that, you know. So I think it's just better to be honest. If you've got a girlfriend and you want to date other women, then it's best you tell her, because if you lie and you cheat, she's going to find out. It's going to cause a lot of problems. You're not going to feel good about it. So what's the point in hurting people and lying? Just be a man and be honest, and just say it from the start. And that goes for any social interaction or any relationship. Um, well, I'm aiming to do a stream every week, Saturday or Monday, or maybe both, depending on my schedule. So yeah, today is Monday. We'll see how it goes. I'm just going to be consistent with the stream. So yeah, usually on a Saturday and a Monday. It's interesting on the streams. Everybody goes quiet when I say two things. When I say what is your goal, everybody goes quiet. No one says anything. When I say what's your purpose, no one says anything. When I say, guys, I've got an event, the event is free. You know, my coaching is very, very expensive because I offer great value. But when I put on a free event, everybody goes quiet on the stream. Well, not everybody, most people do. And I'll tell you why that is. It's because you're afraid to come. You're afraid to come because you don't want to face your fears. You don't want to get uncomfortable. You don't want to have to deal with your thoughts. But that's what's going to keep you stuck, unfortunately. You've got to break out of that. And you've got to at least make an attempt to come to an event. If not my event, no problem. Go to someone else's event. Where is the event? The event is in London. It's in Covent Garden. And it's next Sunday. So if you want to come along, send me an email. We've got 13 people coming. But I understand, you know, I'm not judging you guys or anyone. I'm just really being straight with you. I'm telling you why you're struggling and how you can change it. I was the same. If it was years ago and I was on a live stream and I needed help and the person was running an event, I wouldn't go to the event. Not because I didn't want to go, I didn't appreciate it, because I was scared, I was nervous, I cared too much what people thought. I didn't want to come outside my comfort zone. But that got me depressed. That made me have suicidal thoughts in my early 20s, and I just couldn't take it anymore. And then I actually went to events. So before I ran my own events, I went, if you're in London, I'd love to come, Johnny. You're welcome to come. Let me give you my email address. Right, send me an email if you want to come along, and I'm going to give you the address. Kale, is it Cal? You're very welcome to come. It's next Sunday, so here's my email address. The best thing I've learned about anxiety is that the more you face it, the better it gets. It starts to go away. Or even better, the more you face your anxiety, I'm not saying it's not going to completely go away. You know, everyone has some anxiety, that's normal. But the more you face your anxiety, the more confidence you gain. But where a lot of people are at, and I don't want people to be in this place where I get frustrated, right? People's anxiety is up there. It's very, very high. And their confidence is down here, which isn't good. That's where the depression comes in. So what you really want to do is you want your confidence to be up here, and you want your anxiety to be, you know, somewhere down here. Again, I'm not saying this stuff to show off. It's because I want to help you guys. I'm just a normal person. I'm a teacher, but I have anxiety as well. You know, some days my anxiety is sky high, sometimes it's here, but my confidence is high up at the moment. It's only because I'm doing the work, taking action consistently. In regards to what I spend, I don't really calculate my budget on what I spend. I don't buy as much clothes as you guys probably think. I live quite simply. You know, every couple of months when I have some extra money in my business or I need new clothes, I'll buy. I just dress smart. So you know, it's not every day or every week that I buy clothes. It's probably, you know, every couple of months I'll go out, and it's a nice thing to do. Yeah. Well, if your goal is to that, oh great. Yep. You got to work on yourself to do that. If your goal is to provide, maximum value to your social circle, whether it's emotional, physical, or even monetary. So yeah, keep working on your fears. Keep communicating. No, I don't teach that. I don't teach people how to become players. That's not my teaching. That's not what it's about. Right, I'm gonna send you guys a link to my actual group. Wow, I've got 35 members already that have joined. So let me send you guys this link to meet up. You can join. So if you guys join this, here's the link to my new group. Right, I'm going to be running events every month where we meet up in person. They're social events for men that have got social anxiety, and for men that want to be more confident and improve their anxiety and have some support. Right, guys, I was just checking the email. So again, another thing that you got to do, which takes practice and it is challenging, in regards to moving forward, is you gotta make yourself move when you don't feel like it, and we're always gonna have times in our life, and pretty much daily, where we don't feel like doing things, but that's not good enough if you want to be successful. You have to be disciplined. You have to push yourself and do things when you don't want to do it. Excuse me. An example of that is that I don't want to do this live stream today. And it's not because I don't care, and it's not because I don't want to help you guys and teach. I do. And I care to care, and I enjoy teaching, but I just don't feel like it today. But I'm doing it. I'm here doing it. Why am I doing it? Well, I'm doing it because I know the consequences of not doing things when you don't feel like it. That leads to bad habits. That leads to bad mental health. And you can't help people as much as you could if you kept doing it. So I know that from experience. I know the consequences of this, of being, of not being disciplined. you know. So I'm not saying that you've got to take action every single day and always do things when you don't feel like it, but you've got to be consistent. Because a lot of people go by their emotions. They check in, they don't realize they do it, and they say, well, do I feel good today? No, I don't feel good. I'm not going to go gym then. Oh, how do I feel about going to Jonathan's event next week? I don't feel good about it. I'm not going to go. You don't succeed like that. Mate, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to get into questions about my past dating life. It's not important right now. That's not what I'm teaching. I'm not here to brag and say, look what I've done. I'm not interested in that. So I'm not having a go at you, but I'm just saying your questions are you're asking a lot of questions. I think they're a bit immature. I think they're a bit egotistical. I'm not being horrible, but I just want to be straight with you. I want to help you. Because if you do this in social situations, and you keep acting like that, you're going to upset people, and you're going to be, I know you don't mean it, but you're being a bit rude. I'm not personally offended, but it's annoying. So stop asking questions about how many women I've dating. I'm a grown man, and I'm not into that stuff. Ask me questions that are important, meaningful, that are going to help you in your life. It's not going to help you in your life to know how tall I am, how old I am, what car I drive, I don't drive, how many women. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in helping people to be better people, to build more confidence and overcome their anxieties. Yeah, too old for that, man. That's a good goal. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that goal. That's a great goal to have £1 million in cash, so you've got more freedom to travel, good girlfriends, enjoying life. Work towards that goal. Why not? To get to that goal, you're going to have to be very disciplined, though. In any goal, in any achievement, especially financially, that you're going to have to do a lot of work, which is great. You're going to have to learn to about selling, about marketing, how to add value, or if you can do that in business, or unless you're going to do it in investing, which is a little bit different, but still you need discipline, you need courage. One of the key things I want to share today for everybody is you have to learn to move past disappointments as quick as you can. And what I mean by that is we all have bad days. We all get rejected. We all get disappointed. Things are not always going to go the way you want, but you've got to keep going. You've got to believe in yourself. And I've got a saying that you've got to believe in yourself even when you don't believe in yourself. And how do you do that? I'll tell you. I've said it on the Lover Stream. I learned this in my own experience. It always works. You've got to take action. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You don't necessarily have to date multiple women to get ready for a relationship. I see your point. There's some truth in that. It really does depend on how much you want to be good, how much you want to improve. So it's not necessarily, it could be the case. It depends on the person. It's not always because you date more women, that will make you better in a relationship. It's not always that. But there's an extreme where obviously some guys haven't dated any women. Maybe they meet one woman, it's their first woman they met, which isn't a bad thing. But because they've got no experience, they're not very good in a relationship because they haven't had experience. They don't really know what to do. They don't understand how to communicate. And if they would have had some more experience, i.e., if they would have dated maybe more women, then they would have been better in that relationship because they would learn from mistakes and doing things right. But I think you don't have to date lots of women to learn how to be better in a relationship. I think it's just wanting to be better. But it depends on your personality, your character, your social skills. I do think some people are better in relationships than other people based on their intelligence, their communication, the way that they were raised. But the good thing is, if you're not good at something, you can always get good at it by improving and learning and growing and getting a mentor. Um, Sweden sounds like a lovely country. Yeah, I'd like to go to Sweden now. I can't say when I'm going to be going next. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it just depends on, if you love each other. If a guy's 40 and a girl is in her 20s, it's legal, isn't it? You're not breaking the law. And if you love each other and you get on, I don't see a problem in that. Well, listen, man, I understand 42 is very young still, and a lot of men have this fear that a girl might be too young. But the best thing to do is ask. Then you're gonna know, and you can generally tell, right? But sometimes you can't tell, so it's better to ask, and that way you're gonna overcome that fear and paranoia that a girl might be too old, sorry, too young, or might think that you're too old. Yeah, that sounds like a nice town, Gothenburg. I know Sweden would be a nice place. I really enjoyed Germany, so I'm sure I'd love Sweden. I'm not sure when I'm going to be traveling at the moment because I've got a lot of business stuff to do, a lot of events in London. I just got back from Germany, so my mindset is not really thinking I want to travel again. I'm kind of I'm tired. I'm recovering, and I've got a lot to do in London. But I'm glad. Thanks for telling me. I really appreciate it. I would like to go to Sweden at some point. I have a lot of invitations because I've got clients from all around the world, and it's really hard sometimes because I'd like to go. I can't go everywhere. There's only one copy of me apparently, unless I've got a twin out there and I don't know it. But I can travel the world from a live stream. But yeah, I would like to do some programs in other countries. That would be nice. If anybody wants to do my coaching and work with me, send me an email and I'll get back to you. If you need help with relationships, dating, starting a business, or any anxiety related, send me an email and we will schedule a Zoom call and I can speak to you on Zoom and see if I can help you, and then we can go from there. The Zoom call would be great because it gives you a chance to get to know me more. I can get to know you, what your problem is, what your goal is, and then I can explain how my programs work, the time frame, the price, my availability, and so forth. So don't face your fears, guys. If you're nervous about reaching out for coaching, I know it can be nerve-wracking for people. Quite a lot of clients have said to me that they were quite nervous, and I understand that. I don't want you to be nervous of me, but it's just the nature of doing new things. So here's my email address again. If anybody's interested in coaching, and I do one-on-one coaching and I do group coaching, online coaching, and I help guys that have got anxiety to move forward, and it could be to start a business. I do business coaching. I have clients for that. Some guys need coaching in dating and relationships. I do it for that. And some of my clients, they need more coaching specifically around socializing, social anxiety. Sometimes people need someone to speak to. They need, some therapy. I do some coaching with that online where they can get their fears out, stresses out, and figure a way out of their, their challenge or their predicament in life. I'm very good at that. All right, I remember the town, man. Thanks for letting me know. Also, to let you guys know as well, I've got the weekend confidence program coming up on December the 10th and the 11th, and I'm going to be taking 4 students out for a weekend, and I'm going to be helping them to overcome their social anxiety with speaking to women in public, with honesty, so you can get more confident, you can get exposure to meeting people in real life women, and you can learn how to get a girlfriend by being honest, and learning how to initiate conversations with women rather than just you spending most of your life just waiting for someone to choose you, which is quite unlikely. It's not impossible, but you could be waiting 20 years for a woman to speak to you. Whereas if you learn to speak to women, you can meet someone today or tomorrow. It's fantastic. Most women appreciate it, especially if you're honest. And that's how I teach guys how to speak to women. And that's how I've always got a girlfriend. 95% of the girlfriends relationships I've had have been because I had the confidence and I had the courage to initiate conversation and say hello and be honest and introduce myself. And if there's a connection and the girl likes you, she'll go out with you on a date. And if it goes well, you go on another date. And I'm sure you'll go on another date. And then eventually, if you keep dating, you like each other, you'll be in a relationship. So if any of you are interested in booking on the weekend program, again, send me an email. I'm only taking a maximum of 4 students. So it's a whole weekend in London. It's Saturday, Sunday. It's 5 hours Saturday, 5 hours Sunday. We meet in midday. We go for a coffee. We have a chat. We get in the right mindset. We share, everyone shares their name, their story, and then we go out and we practice, basic things: how to say hello, how to start a conversation, how to keep conversation going. If there's a connection, how to ask someone out, go out on a date for a coffee. It's amazing. It's life changing. How many courses do you know where you actually go out and meet people in real life, and you're not stuck in a classroom, or you're not just paying for a course that's online and they're just giving you material and PDFs? It's not that great. This is amazing. You get to meet people in real life, and you don't know who you're going to meet. You could meet your wife on my program. I'm not saying that you're going to meet your wife, but you could. Girlfriend. It could be a life-changing relationship. You just don't know. If you don't try, and you don't, you don't invest in programs and mentorships and come out, then nothing's going to change. Well, you've emailed me before, and I've explained to you, Khalid, that why don't you take the trip to London and do my program? Why don't you invest in that? Why don't you face your fear? Because I can't come to Sweden right now because I've got clients in London. I've got events and things like that, so it's just not convenient. But you're welcome to come here if you can make the trip. Then I'll be more than happy to help you if I can. But if you can't, then that's fine. Watch the live streams. That's the best thing. You can't beat meeting people in real life. You just don't get the same connection and confidence on the live stream. Unfortunately, you're watching videos. Obviously, it's better than nothing, but it's not the same thing. That's why sometimes it's really hard for me to come on these streams, because I come from being in person a lot with people. With a friend yesterday, coming from a trip in Germany, someone I'm dating, with my family yesterday. So going from that predicament and then coming to a live stream, it just feels a bit antisocial. It's not the same. It's not as good. And I almost do these streams and I try and motivate people to come off the machines and come to an event. It's so hard today. It really is difficult. People are like brainwashed. They're like robots. It's hard to get through to people. They don't want to hear it. I'm not saying everyone, but most people on the stream, 95% are not going to come to my event because they're so just stuck. I understand it's a generational problem today, but you've got to get out of that if you want to be successful. Everyone does. And that's why I've got the discipline to come off the machines. I mean, I love YouTube. It helps me build my business. I love making videos. I like teaching. But most of my teaching I do is in person, which I like. The paid mentorship, the weekend program, the 6 weeks program, the 6 weeks business program, the 1 year program. So it's getting out of that, because you're not going to be happy. You can't be happy when you're on these machines every day without real human connection. Unfortunately, the machine can't love you like a person can, and you can't love a machine. You just can't do it. It's not the same. And that's why there's so much mental illness amongst men. There's so much depression. There's so much isolation, because people are just addicted to living on social media, and I don't do it. I spend a couple of hours on it, and the rest of my time is in real life, in the gym, with a girlfriend, or a relationship, dating, teaching, doing public talks with family, with friends, traveling. It's such a beautiful life when it's simple, really. Get out, face your fear, keep doing it, open up, be honest with people. Look, I'm not saying it's easy. I know it's hard for all of us, but it's not that hard if you really want to do it. The consequences of staying in your flat and pushing people away and isolating, that's horrible. It's horrible. I've done it myself. It's not nice. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. So I hope you guys can hear my message. You can hear it in your heart, not in your head, because your head's stopping you right now. Your head's ruling your heart, because most of you don't even want to talk about my event. And it's free. It's a free event. You're going to get loads of value. You're going to get so much confidence. But if you don't come to these events, then you're not going to change. You're just going to be miserable. Your anxiety is not going to improve. It's going to get worse, actually. Anxiety, it doesn't get better by avoiding it. It actually gets worse. So this is a wake-up call to any guy on this channel or stream today who's going to watch this video later. who has anxiety and is sick and tired of it and wants to improve it and get more confidence, you've got to face your fear. And you've got to get uncomfortable. You've got to keep doing that until you get to a point where you're happy and you're confident, and it's become a habit, it's become a mindset, it becomes a way of living. You really are living like a warrior, you know. That's the thing today. No one wants to be in the arena. Everybody wants to be on the sidelines judging and criticizing, or being a fan or being a follower. Everybody wants to be a follower of someone else, but no one wants to follow their own heart. I don't want people to follow me like I'm not a guru. I'm just a normal bloke, normal guy, same as you guys, who faces his fears consistently and is living a way better life than what I used to live, and continuing to grow and help people and help myself and live the best life I can. It's a pretty simple life, but it's pretty amazing. So I'm trying to get through to you guys. It's a challenge. I've accepted that. I know it's hard for people, so I keep saying the same thing because I know it gets through eventually. It takes people time, you know. People might watch this stream today and they won't act on the advice till next year, but it's made a difference to someone in a year's time, or maybe 5 years. But some of you will hear this message today and something will click, and you'll act on it. And maybe you'll take a mentorship program with me, or you'll come to my free event, or you'll go to another event, or you'll go and see your family. It's all about socializing and taking action. Yeah, I would say actually that's been a good thing to think about. You know, most important thing of moving forward is in life is you've got to come off social media for several hours a day and go out. Look, if you guys did this, your life would be much better now. Go to the gym 3 times a week. See your family at least twice a month or once a week. Meet up with a friend once a week, and practice working on your goals every day for 2 hours. If you take that advice and try and eat a healthy diet as best as you can, this is all the things that I do, your life will just transform. You'll be a different person. You know, and most of the things around this are a positive, healthy lifestyle, socializing with friends, family, your girlfriend, or being proactive in your dating life. And then when you do those things, it's fine. It's fine to go on social media for a few hours or a live stream, no problem, or watch Netflix. That's healthy because you've had the time in person. But most people today are not doing that. All their time is on social media. Be honest, guys. Tell me the truth in the live stream. Is most of your time spent on the internet, watching videos, playing games, versus the time that you're spending in person with real people in real time? So really, today, I'm on the stream to help and educate you. But if I'm being honest, I'm on this stream because I'm trying to get you guys to come to my event next week. That will really help you and give you the support you need. And you'll get a lot of confidence from that. You'll feel good about yourself. Coming is success. Even if you come and you're nervous, that's success. Even if you come and you feel awkward, that's success. Because you came, you faced it, you got in the arena, you tried. Fantastic. I wouldn't judge anyone for that. But if you don't come because you make excuses because of the fear, then unfortunately, you know, you're not going to gain confidence. No, I understand. Listen, if you're in Sweden, you can't make the distance up. That's understandable, right? So that's fine. But most people are able to come, I'm sure, right? If people are in another country, then I understand. But to be honest, I have people coming from all different parts of the world that come to the event. So, I mean, sometimes you gotta, you gotta take a chance. You gotta get on a plane and come to these events. You gotta get around positive people. Another point I'd say as well, I know a lot of clients have it. I know I have it as well. Is about, you know, being a perfectionist. It's not going to help you be successful. You haven't got to be perfect every day, all you've got to do is keep taking action. Some days you're going to feel perfect. You're going to be confident. You're going to be positive. You're going to be energetic. People are going to respond well to you. You're going to feel good about that. That's great. You're going to have a great time with people. You're going to get a great result, whether it's with dating, whether it's business, the gym. You're just going to feel good. You're going to have days where you're not going to feel good, and people might not respond to you in the best way that you hope for, and you're not always going to get the result that you want in business or life. But you've got to keep going, because that's life. You're going to have ups and downs. We all do. But it's how you manage it. And you know that cheesy saying in Rocky, everyone's saying it, but it's true. It's not really about how hard you can hit in life. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. And that's relevant for today's talk, which is how to move forward in your life when you've got an anxiety disorder. It's the mindset. It's choosing to be strong. It's saying, right, today I don't feel like it, but it's okay. I'm going to do it anyway. And I don't have to be perfect. See, a lot of people use that as an excuse. It's BS. It's like, well, I'm not going to come to Jonathan's event because I don't feel perfect right now. Excuses. I'm not going to ask a woman out because my life isn't perfect and I don't feel right. Excuses. I'm not going to go to the gym yet because I don't have a six-pack. I'm not as big as the other guys in the gym, so I'm going to wait. Man, you can't succeed like that. Or I'm going to start my business, but I'm not going to start it now because I don't have a website. Or I need to. Nah, you got to get started today. You know, I really agree with what Grant Cardone said. He said, I'd rather do something badly because I just want to do it. I just want to take action. Then I can get better at it as I go along. So perfectionist mindset is just another trick of anxiety, and it's arrogance, it's ego, it's ignorance, and I've done it. We all done it. It's like, well, if I do something, it has to be perfect, otherwise I don't do it. Well, it's like, well, that's why you don't do anything then, because no one's perfect. Most of the time, it's never going to be perfect, but you can make it amazing. But you know, everyone could use that excuse, and people use it. They're like, well, I could start my own business, you know, I could, but I'm not going to do it yet. Well, why don't you do it? Because you're scared to do it, because you don't want to fail, you don't want to succeed, you don't want to be judged, you don't want to face anything, you don't want to face your voices in your head. And it's very easy to use the excuse and say, well, I would do it, but it has to be perfect. Well, then you're never going to do it then. So be careful of that, guys. Sorry, be careful. I have it. We all have it. I have that tendency, which is why I know it. You know, the I must be perfect before I do things. It's very arrogant, actually. It's very arrogant. If we all live by that, geez, we wouldn't be helping anybody. Because I don't need to be perfect today to help you guys. I just need to show up with the right intentions and do my job, which I'm doing. And I'm not perfect, but I am good at what I'm doing. I'm doing the best I can. And if you keep doing that, eventually it will become close to perfect. So perfect is quite a destructive word and a way of thinking, because as human beings, none of us are perfect. We all got issues, but that doesn't mean we're not great. That doesn't mean we can't be brilliant. So if we all use that as a cop-out and say, well, I'm not going to go and do something until I'm perfect, you ain't going to do nothing like that. You know, when I first started doing my own YouTube videos, they were poor. They weren't great because I wasn't experienced. I always paid and hired cameramen. But during the lockdown, I thought, well, I want to do my own videos now. I feel like being on my own. I want to experience that, but I don't know how to do it. So I went online. I studied. I learned from people that were better than me, and I just started. And they weren't great. Now they're fantastic, because I went through that process of the videos not being perfect, of being bad, not being afraid to make mistakes, and I learned and I kept improving it. Same with everything in life of speaking to women. See, most guys, they don't get women, they don't get a girlfriend, they don't go out, they don't approach, they don't get confident with women, because the perfect syndrome. You know, I have to be perfect before I ask this girl out. My hair has to be right, my everything. You ain't gonna get nowhere like that in life. That's a cop-out, that's bullshit. Sorry my language, right? Passionate. You're not going to get nowhere like that. And I know from experience, I used to do this, I didn't get nowhere. You're going to get further by saying, let's get started. Well, I've just said that. Yeah, it's a cop out. It's arrogance. People, it's ego. It rationalizes. It says, "Well, I am already good." There's loads of people that think like that. They're like many people, right? They say they will believe, "I can do what you're doing, Jonathan. Probably could do it better than you, but I won't do it." It's like, okay, well, if you can do it, you believe that, and you could do it better than me or the next person, well, why don't you prove that then? Do it then. But when you say, oh, but I don't need to do it because it'd have to be no, it's insecurity. It's because you ain't got no guts. It's because you've got no courage. So no, but we're all guilty of it. I did it when I hired a personal trainer. I said, well, I can do deadlifts, but I'm not going to do them now because it needs to be perfect. And then I realized arrogance is because I'm scared to do it, because I don't want to go through that process of it not being perfect and someone saying, well, that's not correct. You've got to improve your posture. And when I realized that, I went, sign me up to the program. And I started and I became, you humble yourself, then I got better at it. So it's just fear in disguise. Fear rationalizes and it says, I could be really good in business. I could be the best out there. Maybe you could, but I'm not going to be. Why are you not going to be? Because before I start a business, my life has to be perfect. I'm a perfectionist. I take pride in what I do. Nah, it's just a crop of bollocks. If you're so confident, then you do it and you wouldn't care about it not being perfect because you care too much. So it comes back to caring what people think again. It's not a good thing. You can't move forward in life like that. So to move forward in life of your anxiety, you have to stop trying to be perfect in life. And you got to stop holding that excuse up which says, I'm not going to do something until it's 10 out of 10. You ain't going to do it then. I'd rather, make the YouTube video and it's not going to be great, but it's still good enough because you did it. Great. The second video will be better. Why? Because the first one was 4 out of 10. Now you can go, how can I make the video better? The next video, 5 out of 10. The third video, 6 out of 10. The fourth video, 7. The fifth, 8. After months of doing it, 10 out of 10. Practice makes confident. As a saying, practice makes perfect. But most people, they don't want to practice. They just want to be perfect the first time. And that's not possible. And then they don't do it. It's self-sabotaging. It's all insecurity. It's all fear. It's all arrogance. And it doesn't help anybody. None of us it helps. No one. And I understand it's a terminology that we use. And we say, well, I'm a perfectionist. Okay, that's interesting. Isn't everybody? But let's get to the truth of that. What does that mean? What does that actually mean? Okay, there can be some good in that. You could be someone that says, anything I do to the best of my ability. That's wonderful. I like that. But most people don't come from that standpoint. I've heard it with clients. It's like, listen to this story. So many times I get a phone call and I ask hello or an email. Jonathan, I'm interested in your 6 weeks program. I want to start. How much is it? When are you available? Well, let me check my schedule. Actually, I can start next week. I have space next week. Oh, I can't do next week. Why? You just asked me. Why? Well, I need 2 months to prepare for the program. What do I need to do to prepare? You don't need anything to prepare. What? You don't need homework. You don't need money. Well, you need some money to pay the program, but do you understand? You don't need millions. You just got to come with the right attitude. I'll do my job. Show up, pay the money, have a good attitude. Let's get started. Perfectionist mindset. I need 2 months. Can't help people like that in that space. But the ones that want it bad, they don't say, oh, I want to do it, but not now. They go, I want to start ASAP. When are you free? And they sign up. They pay the money. They're brilliant to work with. I'll get things out. And they come and they learn. And they're not so insecure that they can't fail. Failure equals success. Perfectionist mindset equals 0, nothing. Yeah. Yeah, it's a protective mechanism. I know it because we've all got the pattern. So be aware of that. Be careful, you know, because it's conditioning. You'll hear it in your head now. Watch this exercise, guys. Why don't you guys do a YouTube video talking about something you're passionate about? Do it right now. Get your phone out. Do it now. Most of you, you're not going to do it. Do you know why you're not going to do it? The voice is going to say, no, I can't do it right now. I'm not good enough. You're going to compare yourself to me. That's what you're going to do. You're going to say, I couldn't do it like Jonathan, or I can't do it like this person online. It's got you. If you're really hungry, you say, I'll do it. I don't care if it doesn't come out well. It's the doing that's the succeeding. Success is your ability to take action at any moment in time, when you have self-doubt, when you're scared, or when you're passionate. You know, honestly, if you can learn one thing from today, it's not having this excuse that I need to do everything perfect or I'm not going to do it. Bad attitude, you know. It's held me back in my life, believe me. It's cost me many years because I said, oh, I can do that. I'm better than him. I'm not going to do it now because I need to be perfect at it. But I could do it if I wanted to. That's all excuses. Fear. Do it now, man. Now's the time. Life's short. Start today, and in 30 days' time, you won't recognize yourself. Yeah, it's interesting that every time you think about doing something new, it's there. It's a mental thing. It's like a block. It comes in. If you stop for a second and you're just aware of your own thoughts, your own human programming, you'll hear it somewhere in there in the programming. I can do it, but not now. You've got to be careful of that. That's the trick of fear. That's one of the biggest tricks of anxiety. I had it today. I overcome it because, you know, sometimes, as I said, I did a live stream. I did it on was it Saturday night? We had a great stream, or Sunday. I think it was Saturday. And the Saturday one, I was brilliant, and I was very in the mood for it. I was very energetic. And today I don't feel as in the mood to do this because I'm tired. I went to the gym, and you know, I want to do other things and have a break. And I could have said, well, I won't do it today because it won't be perfect. No, I'm not going to do that. So I'm demonstrating what I'm teaching, practicing what I preach. That today I'm not feeling as good as some of the other streams. It doesn't matter. I'm succeeding because I'm here, I'm taking action, I'm teaching, and I'm helping a lot of people, and it helps me as well. So it's about showing up, and that takes character. All the things you guys asked me. You guys asked me, Johnny, how do I be more disciplined? Stop trying to be perfect, take the action. Johnny, how do I have more courage? Stop trying to be perfect and a perfectionist, take the action. How do I care less about what people think about me? Stop caring, or care what they think and take the action anyway. The solution to every question pretty much that you ask me, every problem on this channel, is the same solution. Take action. Keep doing it and don't stop. If you fail, take action again. If you succeed, take action. If you feel good about yourself, take action. If you feel down, if you feel insecure, if you feel self-conscious, if you have doubt, take action. In the long run, it works. It's amazing. It's a science. It's a spiritual truth as well. It changed my life doing this. It's a daily habit that you've got to develop and practice and build. It's very hard at times because your mind won't agree with what I'm telling you to do. The mind has a problem with it because that's how the mind functions. Protects you, keep you safe, keep you isolated, keep you addicted on social media, keep you away from people, keep you away from confrontation, keep you away from succeeding, from growing, from helping people, from loving, from caring, from connecting. That's what the mind does if you let it. And the mind uses many different tricks, one of which is perfectionist mindset. I won't go to Jonathan's event because I'm 20 pounds overweight and I need to be skinny to come. It's an illness. It really is. You know, or I can't speak to a woman because I'm not perfect in every area. Oh man, believe me, who is? But to become great in life, you got to face fear. You got to work your ass off. You got to work hard, and you got to do it when you don't feel like doing it, and you got to do it like you do feel like doing it, and you got to show up every single day, or at least consistently. I didn't feel like going to the gym today, but I went, and then when I got there, I really enjoyed it. I'm actually starting to enjoy this stream. It's taken me 95 minutes, but I'm patient. And initially, I didn't want to do it. So I go through the same thing you guys do, but the difference is I have a bit more determination right now, and I want to get you guys to the same level, even beyond that. And I've maybe more experience, maybe I don't. But it's knowing what I know, and it's knowing the consequences of not taking enough action and not showing up. Yep, no pain, no gain. Now, I think a lot, sometimes you have to shout at yourself, and I've got to shout a little bit, be a little bit louder to get through to you, to get past, to get through to your brains. And I'm the same, I'm no different. When I'm asking for help from other people and I'm learning, sometimes people have to tell me 10 times until it sticks. So yeah, it takes a lot of courage to continuously move forward in your life when you've got anxiety. It takes a lot of courage, but if you do it, I promise you, you will be so happy that you've done it. The rewards are endless. Financial rewards, the spiritual growth, you meet great people, you become a better person, you travel. All these things I've done as a result of moving forward, despite having anxiety, the same as all you guys do. I have the same that you do, but I move forward with it. Yeah, you got to earn respect. I would say that's true. Right. Yeah, I think we're almost going to be done today, guys. I've done that's great. I wanted to do a long stream again, and hopefully today you can see, right? This is not like a bad day for me, but I'm just not in the mood. I'm tired, but I still showed up today, and I still taught, and I still helped, and I'm proud of myself for doing that, and I want you guys to be proud of yourself for showing up in your life and moving forward. So it takes some practice again, because a lot of people are not comfortable. They're not used to exposing themselves out in the world with people and putting themselves in a position where people can evaluate them and judge them when they don't always feel like it. But I've seen the danger. I'm telling you, I've worked with hundreds of clients over the years, and the ones that are too sensitive about what other people think, they don't really succeed. They don't, even with my help, because they don't get it. They quit. But the ones that want it bad enough, that they're not trying to be perfect, but they're trying to be the best person they can be, and they want to succeed, they just do so well. So you have to be aware of these mistakes that you can make, and these thought processes and these tendencies and characteristics. You've got to eradicate them through practice. You almost got to iron out the creases. You almost got to get out these things. They're like possessing thoughts, they're like demons that you've got to get out. And the perfectionist mindset, it doesn't help people in their life. It causes a lot of mental health problems. It causes misery. You just become a person that is lazy and just feels like, well, I'm so good, I don't need to do anything. It's like, well, that's not going to get you anywhere in life, because none of us are above working hard. or we're so good that we just have to, we don't do anything. That's not being so good in my opinion, my experience. No one's really going to respect that. You got to do something, you know. You can't just be like, well, I could be kind to people, but you know what? I'm not going to be kind to people because I need to make it so perfect. It's like you don't have to be perfect to be kind. You know, you just got to be kind. So it's the same with taking action. You don't have to be perfect to take action. Just take the action. Just do it. Just take the action, even if it's a little bit of action. Even look, it's different for everyone. For some people, taking action is getting on a plane and going to another country. For some people, taking action is just saying hello to someone in a supermarket and they feel good, great. For some people, taking action is you know, making a sale in their business. So everyone's action steps are going to be slightly different. It doesn't matter. Focus on what you're doing. Take action. You're right, Frank. I could be. You never know. I could be the new James Bond. You never know. They might be looking for someone, you know, someone different, someone authentic. So you know, if I get the phone call, you guys will be the first to know. Um, I did have a call earlier. I missed the call. It could be Hollywood on the phone. You never know. You know. I'll see how I feel. What do you guys think? Should I play the next James Bond? Could do. Yeah, it's hard, this work though. It's hard. It's hard. But you know what? That's what makes you appreciate it. That it's hard work. Right, I think we're going to finish up today, guys. I think that'll be it today, right? Continuing. Went over a lot there. So yeah, I really wanted to outline today. I went through many things, but I think the most important thing that I would like people to go away and think about and practice is just taking action and not waiting to be perfect. It's quite hard. It's almost like a knee-jerk reaction that as when you're about to go and do something new, or you want to socialize, your mind kicks in and says, well, I don't feel perfect today, therefore I'm not going to do it. But that's when it honestly, don't that's when it gets you. But when you can become aware, I wanted to make you guys aware today of a sabotaging thought process that everybody has. And if you can become aware of it, you become like a martial artist where you can defend yourself against your own negative thoughts, your own holding patterns. And I'm doing it at the moment. It's actually an interesting exercise. I can do it now to stop and be present and just be aware of some of the thoughts that are going on in your head and some of the emotions that come with those thoughts and how you can feel the resistance, can't you? You know, guys get it when they see a girl that they like, and they think, oh, I like her, and then the perfectionist mindset comes in. Oh, but she might have a boyfriend, or it's not the right time, or I need to think of the perfect thing to say, or oh, what am I wearing? I don't look like James Bond. I can't speak to her, and it's so sad that that's actually a lie. That women often, they're not even thinking that. You know, it's, of course, if you're dressed nice, that's a bonus, and if you've got something good to say and you feel, yeah, but it's, life's not perfect. We don't live in a movie where everyone walks around in a good mood and everything's perfect. The world isn't like that. But we've got to make the best of what we have under the conditions. And like I said, and I've realized that about myself lately as well, that there is a tendency to think that, well, I was good yesterday, so I've got to be like that today. I've got to be better today. And that can be healthy, but for the most part, it's negative, it's destructive, because then you can't enjoy yourself. And that's one of the restrictive patterns people have with relationships, socializing, that they can't let go. They can't be honest. They can't be vulnerable and open up, because it's like, I have to be perfect all the time with friends. Awesome, man. Have a good time, Galib. So it's powerful mindset, you know, and all successful people are good at getting over this. They're very good at it. And I've become very good at it. And I was good before. And There's times when it gets you, so work at it, guys. Set goals, take the action, regardless of how you feel. Sometimes you're going to feel great, that's always nice, but many times you're going to feel like crap. We all feel like that at times, we're human. But that's really what tests, that sorts out the men from the boys, you know, the weak from the strong, that you're able to show up when you don't always feel like it. And that's when you end up getting into a great place. You've got to be willing to humble yourself and go through not always being your best. Amazing. You got another date. That's great. Was that recent? I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. Yeah, I've trained myself to do it over the years. You know, I've learned from experience. I know what great things come from going towards your fears and being consistent. That's great, man. Nice girl. I'm sure she's a nice girl. You're a nice person. So before we end this stream, right? What was the most important thing you guys learned today, or point? Let me know. Let me know in the box below, and then we're gonna end today. We've had a good one today, and sounds lovely. Finland. I bet she's lovely. The encouragement. That's good. Yeah, I'm gonna make a YouTube video on that. I'm really thinking about that. How powerful that is. How helpful that is to people, my clients. Just do it, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do a video about that. How to get out of that perfectionist, you know, way of thinking and mindset. How long have I been going today? I'm trying to do these streams as long as I can. Okay, that's good. 107 minutes, so that's over an hour and a half. Not bad. All right, guys. Thanks for coming on. I will continue a lot more videos to come. I'm looking forward to the event next week. And if anybody wants to come, send me an email. Oh, great. I'll see you at next Phyllis event, Frank. All right, guys. Thank you for coming on. I hope you learned a lot today. And remember, just practice taking action and just doing it and not thinking too much. And you're going to see the results that you're going to get. And as I said at the start, it's going to feel a little bit tricky. You're going to feel a little bit insecure. That's normal. And it's not going to feel comfortable. But over time, you'll start to feel more secure. You're welcome. You'll be more confident as you see the confidence coming. So it does take time and it takes patience, and it is an up and down thing. You know, some days are good, some days are not so good, but you gotta keep taking action, and that's the whole mindset with this talk, with how to move forward in life when you've got anxiety. So the way that you move forward, thank you, Eric, you move forward by not trying to be perfect, because none of us are, but doing the best that you can, showing up and continuously working at your anxiety, and it gets better and better. And so that's really all you need to do, and that's a hell of a lot. And then when you do that for a long time, you'll learn other things about yourself and things that you can do. All right, bless you guys.